Right. Hello viewers. This is, oh god, that was a cup. But this is not the 6 o'clock news, because it is not at all 6 o'clock. And today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about budgets. I don't know if you can read that. Sorry, my head's just getting away. Just saying, yep, you can read that. Well, you should be able to. If you can't read, it's not insulting anyone, but you probably should be watching this video. Anyway, no, I can't say that, but yeah, that was meant to be attached. Never mind. Okay, so we're going to be talking about budgets today. Now, I'm going to assume that you already know a bit about budgets. So, in Business 1, you would have already done about the advantages and disadvantages. Now, just to save a bit of time, which is good for me because it'll take less to upload it to YouTube, and not so good for you if you're watching it in class. It means a little bit less time listening to me, which is always a bad thing. More time doing work. Anyway, so budgets. We're going to skip the intro, if you like. So advantage and disadvantage, you should know that. But a budget is a financial plan or financial target, it's better, for the future which includes includes costs, revenues and profits. Just put CRP, cost, revenue, profit. So the first thing that we knew and you're going to need to know is something called a variance. Now, a variance is the difference between a business's budgeted performance, and actual. So you've got to think, yeah. So that's a, sorry, should put variance. So you could say a variance is just a difference between the budgeted and actual performance. So if you budget to say sell 7,000 units and you only sell 2, you need help with business studies. You know, just a helpful hint. But there's 2 types of variances you need to know about. There's adverse variance, which is worse, which is pretty bad. And you've got favourable variances, which, as the name suggests, is better than an adverse variance. So a favourable variance is defined. I'm not going to write it down because I can't really be bothered, to be brutally honest. But, you know. Anyway, so a favourable variance is where the business performance is actually better than the budgeted performance. So you could say this in terms of if it's going to increase the business's profit, for example. So you may have a budget of 10,000 for the profit as a profit budget, but you actually only achieve 9,000, which means it's going to be a £1,000 adverse variance. Look at that, up and down. Oh dear, that's wrong. Anyway, so you've got your favourable and your adverse variances to think about. However, you may see the thing that tricks up most students is that you think, oh well, the adverse variance is always when it's lower than the budgeted, and the favourable is when it's higher. That's not necessarily the case. For example, costs. If your workers decide we want to be paid £10,000 a day, which probably isn't going to happen unless they work in gold mining. Oh wait, no, they get paid a little for that. Anyway, sack that idea. Pretend I didn't say that. You heard I didn't say that, and I heard. So, it's okay. So, a favourable variance is where the variance will lead to the business increasing its profit. So, lower cost or higher revenues. They're the 2 general topics to think about in terms of the variances. what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with some causes of adverse variances. Now, yeah, adverse. So, adverse variances, as I said before, is where businesses' budgeted performance is worse than the actual performance of the business. Sorry, let me just move the camera a little bit. Don't know if you can see that very well. Can you? Oh, don't know. You don't get Steven Spielberg doing this. This is the joy. It's almost an outtake included in the film. So, good for you. Okay, so adverse variances. An example of an adverse variance could be competitors update product range. Now, competitors updating product range would mean they have obviously more products for sale, and your customers may say, oh well, they've got more products, we'll go with them. They may have a product which meets their needs more concisely. So they could be entering a new, well actually not going to new markets. They could be offering new products, and consumers like new products, they like innovation, they like something different. So, competitors update product range is what you could do. And another one could be governments increasing tax. Now, tax on a business is called corporation tax. Increasing corporation tax. Now, this is a big cost for a business, because it's like, say if like we are charged VAT, businesses aren't, and that's their version of VAT, but it's not on the products. I guess it's the same because it's a tax, but you know, let's bypass that products and so government's increasing corporation tax as well, and then standard are costs increasing, so raw materials increasing in price, or rent increasing, and then the final one is if, well, I'm sure there's a few more, but these are the main ones that I think you can get the most out of. Competitors competitors offering more promotion, that's it. Offering more promotions. So if they offer more promotions, that's going to signal an adverse variance to you, because if they offer more promotions, then people are going to go with them instead of going to you. The way to solve that, you could talk about, this is why I like this one, you could offer your promotions. However, this would incur that your costs increase, which is another adverse variance as well as potentially losing customers. So you could come up with a situation which is called a price war. So you offer a promotion, your competitors offer the same promotion, you want to beat them, increase your market share, etc., which, you know, would be beneficial to the consumer and unbeneficial to the business, which could lead to insolvency and other things. Which I just invented that word, insolvency. You can use that in your essay. Fine by me. Obviously you have to pay a copyright. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, just get some extra cash. So, competitors offering promotions. As I said, they're the main ones I think it is important. Obviously there's a few others as well, but you can look in your notes for that. Now we're going to go on to favourable variances next. So favourable variances are, oh great, favourable. It's not when your pen runs out, it's not a favourable variance. So a favourable variance, just put favourable. Be careful there. Pen's starting to run out. So, a favourable variance could be, for example, unions. As I said before, unions about their pay, right? So unions agree a wage settlement which is less than the rate of inflation. So agree wage settlement, wages less than inflation. You can look on my other YouTube videos if they're up yet. So about inflation, and inflation is considered to be a general rise in prices, which I'll talk about inflationary pressure and international competitiveness, etc. in economics, which is a small guide here in business studies in the context of that. So inflation is, as I said, general rise in all prices, and if the prices are increasing for consumers, such as necessities, they're going to want to be paid more. Otherwise, even if they're paid the same, they'll feel worse off because they can get less, and that means consumer spending obviously will decrease. Again, that's economics, just a bit of a head for you. So, unions agree a wage less than inflation, and another one could be oil prices increasing less than forecast. Now you may go, well, that's quite a specific comment to make. Well, yeah, it is. But if you think about oil prices are necessities of most businesses, and you're going to need oil, which is turned into petrol, as we know, crude oil distillation from GCSE chemistry, and that will help you provide your goods and services if you're a delivery service, for example. So most businesses do use machinery which runs on petrol or diesel. So oil prices increasing less than forecast is one. I'm not sure if you can quite see that, so I'm just gonna, this is high tech, just wipe there. Not sure if you can actually see that. Sorry. Yeah, no, you can't. Right. Sorry about that. There's nothing much I can do. So you're just gonna have to listen to me talk for a few minutes. Right. God. Never mind. This cannot be happening. Right. So oil prices increasing less than forecast. Sorry if you can't read this. I'll just get through it quickly. So oil prices increasing less than forecast is one. Another one could be exchange rate increasing. I'll just nick through these so I can upload the next part. Exchange rate increasing, and labour productivity also increasing. Hopefully you can see that. So on our next instalment of budgets, this is just the end of part one, we'll go into how you can solve adverse variances and how you can apply favourable variances to your adverse.